downstairs by myself in the dark. All I got is this ring light and my friend over here. But tonight's just gonna be like a hangout session, we're just gonna be chilling. Halloween, so reading scary stories. I'm on Reddit right now. Sorry about that. Hold on, let me bring the chat in on here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Getting this all set up right now. Sour tea. I love Packers. Jonathan, hello, my friends. Alright, now that we got the chat there. Alright. Once I was alone in the house and heard an elderly lady say hello in a crackly voice. I froze, freaked out a bit, but then manned up and gave my own crackly hello back, only to hear the same voice again. Long story short, turns out the cat I was babysitting for my friend can mimic human speech. No way. That wasn't even a scary story, but that's fine. Hey Zeus, hello my friend. I'm doing good, how are you? Alright, so for everybody just joining, we're just reading some scary stories right now. I kind of just started without rolling into it, so please excuse that. Alright. This didn't happen to me, but my sister. She was home alone, and I was out at the mall with a friend. I called her to ask what t-shirt she wanted from the store I was at, and she told me she was scared that there was a ghost in the house. I asked, what happened? She had put a hot pocket in the microwave and gone into her room to change. While she was changing, she heard the microwave go off, signaling, can't speak, that her hot pocket was done. We have a small house. The kitchen and living room are open, all connected, and her room opens to the living room. She comes out of her room to grab the hot pocket, but instead of it being in the microwave, it was out on the living room coffee table, all warmed up. That's pretty creepy. Yo, Jack Fogger, what's up? Thank you, yeah. I figured the jack-o'-lantern was a good touch. I should have put a pumpkin emoji in the title, but alright. Did I read some of these before? I made so many reading scary story videos that. Thank you, I love Packers, I appreciate that. Oh yeah, I bet there are a few stories about that. Dia de los Muertos. Sorry, I'm muy gringo. I was camping with friends. It was early in the season, and we were the only ones in that section of the park. One morning, I stayed in my sleeping bag in the tent while everyone else went to the facilities, which were a bit of a walk away. I dozed off again. I was awoken by someone grabbing my foot through the tent. I was groggy and assumed it was a friend playing a joke, and kicked and said, F off. My foot was grabbed again and pulled, and I kicked again pretty hard, not afraid to kick my friend who was now pissing me off. He stopped and I dozed off again. So somebody was like grabbing their foot through the tent. I woke up again probably less than a half an hour later and heard my friends in the distance returning. When they got back, I asked them who was the one trying to wake me up. They had no idea what I was thinking about. Honestly, I told them about something grabbing my foot through the tent, and they thought I was trying to tell a story to scare them. I still have no idea what it was. It wasn't even dark out at the time. That's That's scary. Oh yeah, Day of the Dead, I've heard of that before. Definitely heard of that before. I remember watching like a short documentary on it or something like that. I forgot when I watched it, but it is pretty interesting. Supposedly, these are all real scary stories. That's what it says. It's on Reddit, and it says that all of them have to be real. I mean, to me, as long as they're well written, that's fine, but I'd rather them be real. You know what I mean? But when I was 10, my parents and I lived across the street from my grandmother. It was around 8:30 or 9 p.m. It had just been dark for 15 or 20 minutes. I told my mom I was running across the street to my grandmother's house. Instead of going across the street, I walked over to a convenience store about 6 blocks away. On my way back, while devouring a Three Musketeers bar, I was at an intersection. Yeah, that's pretty spooky. A car a block away, not a cop, was going through the intersection, and he slammed on his brakes and squealed in reverse and whips his car around and squeals towards me. At this point, it is pitch black and no one is out, and I take off running. I cut between a house and hopped a fence and started down an alley. I dove down and hid behind 2 trash cans while these creeps by at 2 miles an hour. He passes and pulls out. I gotta zoom in. These letters are so. Alright. He passes and pulls out of the alley, and I hear his tires squealing, and I am shaking and paralyzed with fear. About 20 or 30 seconds, I get my stuff together and stand up. Make it about 20 feet, and I see his headlights coming into the alley again. This time I was behind someone's detached garage. Looking around the corner of the garbage, I see the guy, and although I couldn't make out his face, I could see his head on a swivel, breaking his neck looking for me. He pulled back out of the alley, and I hopped or went through every person's backyard for 3 blocks till I made it home. The part that sucks as an adult and knowing how dangerous that situation is, I didn't tell my parents because I didn't want to get busted for lying. I feel really bad now. Someone should have notified the authorities. Should have definitely been looking for that guy. Wow. The pumpkin was a nice touch to the live stream. Alright, next story. My cousin and I went to Dallas together, but he had to stay an extra day for work, so I came back to his house on my own. He lived on top of a hill in a big old house, and it was a bit creepy. I was just lounging around when I hear what sounded like some heavy footsteps, running a few steps and suddenly stopping. Holy crap, I have a major freak out. I went to check the doors to make sure they were locked. Front door locked, side door locked, back door, oh my gosh, not only unlocked, but slightly open. I decided to go through the house and found nothing. Closets, under beds, everywhere. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Footsteps continued every once in a while. I was pretty sure I was going to die that night. That's scary. And then underneath it says, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, I didn't die. That's good. Oh yeah, in the beginning of the story is that he lives on top of a hill in a big house, and it was a bit creepy. And then he heard the footsteps, like, in the house. That's pretty scary. Here in Mexico is one of the biggest events of the year. The way of celebrating depends on where you are. In South America, celebration is different. Then in the center of the month. Yeah, there are a lot of creepypastas that are very scary. I don't know why, but like that stuff doesn't, like, it scares me more when horror movies are more realistic, like Halloween, even though Michael Myers like never really died. He would like get hit by cars, get shot, and he just was like, he just kept walking. But I like Halloween over, like, I don't know. The Grudge was pretty scary too, but I'm just trying to say, like, the more realistic ones are usually the scariest because probably less CGI and stuff like that too. But what do I know? Oh, okay. Usually the stories that start with, like, have hide and seek involved are usually really bad. Here things are very Catholic, so many people don't like the celebration, but makes markers and offices will do it. Somebody's gonna celebrate it. When I was around 11 or so, my siblings and I were all playing hide and seek in my house. Now I know under the bed is the first place you always look, but for whatever reason I decided to hide under my little sister's bed in her dark room. So I get down on the floor and squeeze under and wait for the seeker to come looking for me. And as I am laying there waiting, I hear a little girl giggle next to me. I could clearly see I was the only one under the bed and I was the only one in the room. And I shot out from under the bed and told everyone what happened, and that was the end of the game. Nope. But like stuff like this, I don't know. I don't know if I can really honestly believe that. Somebody commented on this and they said, similar thing happened to me except in a closet. I was at a birthday party playing hide and seek and a couple of us decided to hide in the closet. It was wall lengths with sliding glass doors. I went in further and slided all the way to the opposite end, heard the other girls shimmy inside, then shut the door. We waited. After a few minutes, I felt a hand on my back, not a clothes hanger, but distinctively a human hand. I asked who it was, and all the girls said, "What?" from the other end, about 4 feet away. No, no bueno. No, no, no. Oh, like that. Somebody commented on that, and they said connected air ducts picked up noises from someone hiding in a different room. That's possible. But why is this under the comment? This girl said, well, I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but they said that they were touched. They didn't say they heard anything. I don't know. But like I said, I hope these stories are real. When I was little, probably 6 or 7, ASMR Cheech, what's up? I'm happy to see you. When I was little, probably 6 or 7, I was in a room in my house on the ground floor, playing on the treadmill. After a few minutes, I glanced up towards the windows, and I saw someone duck away. Someone very clearly spying on me. Ran to my parents and turned out that my dad's work was sending people to spy on him to see if he was really injured or faking it. Yo, just the thought of walking, or not even walking, like you walk into your house, or maybe you're just sitting on your couch and you have like a window right in front of you and some type of view that's close, and like you just look out the window and then you see somebody duck away. No. That's scary. I mean, at least they had an explanation for it, but like if you didn't get an explanation for it, that would be pretty scary. Alright, where is the next story? This one is pretty long. We'll read it. It looks pretty decent. It's not like super long, super duper long, but I was a utility locator. I used to work on a team with my dad to find a gas service from a gas main to the house. You must connect the equipment at the gas meter. Many older homes have the gas meter in the basement. Sometimes I would be the one that would connect the equipment while my dad found the gas service. In this particular day, we get to a house that had a meter in the basement. I go up, knock on the door. The homeowner points me in the direction of the stairs to the basement. I go down and I see the gas meter in the corner with two walls built around it, making it like a closet with no door. Behind the gas meter is this old crawl space halfway up the cinder block wall. No lights in the crawl space. As I step into the closet area, I hear what I can only describe as a demonic growl from the crawl space. I stepped out and called my dad. Not wanting to sound spooked, I just say, I need a flashlight. He hung up. I stood outside of the doorway and just reached in to hook up the equipment. My dad comes down the stairs with the flashlight, and as he steps through the door to see if I got it in the dark, that same demonic growl comes from the crawl space. He about knocked me over trying to get back. He hands me the flashlight and goes back outside. I just stood there pointing the flashlight into the crawl space with the feeling something was watching me. He calls and said he's done. I grabbed the equipment as quickly as possible and got out of there. Don't know what it was, but it wasn't a dog or a raccoon or anything I've ever heard before or since. Yeah, we don't do those dark, scary holes. We don't do that stuff. No. We just stay where we have space. Scary movies don't really scare me. I feel scared only by taxes. That's funny. Alright, let's read the next story. Oh wait, I read this one before. I'm not gonna read it again. I gotta scroll down far because I feel like I've read a lot of these. Alright. We'll go into this one. We'll check this one out. One night I was in bed reading a book, waiting for my older sister, who I live with, to return from a night out with friends. I was very much awake, but we were kind of short on cash. And the house was cold, so I tucked up for warmth, but wide awake, sober as a judge. From my bed, I could see directly into the hallway and to the front door. Around 1:30, I hear my sister's key in the door. I look up and she walks in with two of her friends, who I had not been expecting to return with her. They're a little tipsy and giggly. I get out of bed and go ask them about their night. We stand in my doorway for a while and chat. One of her friends was Welsh. I get out of bed and go ask them about their night. We stand in my doorway for a while and chat. One of her friends was Welsh, and she pinched my cheek and called me English Rose for my fair skin but flushed cheeks. While we chat, I text my other sister, who didn't live with us, to let her know Sister 1 got home safe. I say I'm going back to bed now, as I was comfortable. Said goodnight. Said goodnight and went back to bed, drift off to sleep to the sounds of little music, laughing and clinking from the living room. Suddenly awoken by the sound of my sister's key in the door. Eyes snap open. I check my phone, which says it's around 2:30 a.m. My sister walks in with two of her friends I had not been. Wow, I'm really Oh, they just copied and pasted. I was like, wait, didn't I just... Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought they were just repeating it. Okay, sorry. My sister walks in with two friends I had not been expecting her to return with. They are tipsy and giggly. I immediately jump out of my bed and say, but you're home? My sister's totally confused. I run into the living room where I thought she was with friends, and it was empty and dark. I explained that she had already come home an hour ago. We had spoken and everything. Her friend walks up to me and pinches my cheek and calls me English Rose. I checked my phone, and sure enough, an hour prior, I had messaged my little sister to say big sister was safe, time stamped and everything. Of course, my sister to this day maintains that I was dreaming, and I suppose sleep texting. I can understand why many would brush it off as a dream, but I know I wasn't dreaming. Nothing like it has ever happened before or since. I have no idea what happened, but it freaked me the hell out. I wasn't dreaming. I mean, sounds like a dream to me. What's up, Kay? What's up, Wild? Hello. Okay, let's look for the next one. Hello to everybody joining the stream. Hope everybody's having a good night. Hope you had a good day. Or if your day's about to start, hope you have a great day. And thank you guys for hanging out. Hey, I'll have to rewatch the beginning of the live again. What's up? What's up, Cass? Don't say that. If anyone wants to get scared, look into his mirror at the thing moving that isn't him on the right. Don't do that. Thank you. I feel like the pumpkin was a nice touch. Got a helicopter flying over right now. 1 second. Alright, we're back. They flew right over here. See, I also feel safe because I'm live right now, so if anything were to happen to me, I mean, at least there's proof of it on camera of whatever happens. That's all I'm saying. Alright. Let's start the next story. I'll see if I can explain this. I was home alone at night for like the first time ever. I was watching Unsolved Mysteries, and that show is creepy enough as it is. This episode just happened to be about ghosts. Now, those of you who know what show I'm talking about know how creepy the music is, and how creepy Robert Stack's voice is. Yes, Unsolved Mysteries, it is creepy. I watched the episode, and I became terrified. I flicked all the lights on in the house, and I thought I would play a lullaby type song to calm me down. My sister had a wind-up clown that would play soft music and roll its head around. Well, I wound it up and it malfunctions and went turbo speed, playing the entire song in like 5 seconds, and flopped its head around like it was having a problem. I screamed and tossed it down the stairs. I cowered under my blanket till my mom got home. The clown never did it again. Oh, it was a clown too? Where's the clown? They didn't even mention the clown until then, right? Oh no, there it is. Had a wind-up clown. I was like, wait, why are you just mentioning the clown? The clown now. We need to know about the clown right away. Tack Fogger, don't do that. Don't do that. Alright. I was doing laundry after my girlfriend got called in for an emergency. It was around 12 on a Saturday, so I had the music blaring and was just spacing out in general. Finished taking the clothes out the washer and put them in the dryer. Suddenly, my girlfriend tapped me on the back of my right shoulder. It scared the shit out of me as as I thought I was alone. Turns out I was. Girlfriend was still at work and didn't get home until about 4. Oh no, I guess it was just a weird muscle spasm and just took it as a tap on the back. But I'll be damned if I didn't walk outside because I was a little bit afraid of ghosts in that instant. Are you kidding me? Listen to me. If I feel anything touch me and nothing is there and it's not a bug, I don't care who you are, that would scare you. That would scare anybody. Especially if you're in bed and something taps you and wakes you up deliberately, and then you're by yourself. Come on. Okay, this looks like a novel, but I think we should read it. Why not? It does look like another face though, right? No, don't do that. Here in Campeche, where I live, in a really small town called Pomage, people, to celebrate the Dia de Muertos, they clean the bones of their dead relatives. It's something really shocking but beautiful. You know what? I definitely respect that. It's all done out of love and respect, so I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, especially, I'm sure the people that passed away have done that, like in that area, that they've done it too, so they understood. Carlos, good evening, my friend. I appreciate you. Alright, we're going to move on to the next story, and then after this story, I'm going to get a water real fast, and I'm going to go take a lap inside my house to make sure we're all good still. But right now, I'm going to watch. This story's pretty long, so. I have never knowingly experienced sleep paralysis, but my father has, and so I guess that maybe it can be a genetic thing. Anyway, from what I understand, sleep paralysis is when you aren't able to move at all and creepy hallucination slash sleep cycles occur. My incident did not involve being frozen in place. Actually, I felt that at the same time I was keenly aware of my surroundings. It happened when I was really young, roughly 3rd, 4th grade in elementary school. My family and I just moved into a brand new house, and for the first time ever, I had my own bedroom. I loved my room, and like my sisters, we kept our bedroom doors open at night. We had one pet, a Cornish red Rex cat named Rex that was so notorious for hating everyone but my immediate family. He loved to sleep right on mine and my sister's chest, or as close to your faces as he could possibly manage, without risking getting knocked off the bed for the night. To keep this short, I will also add that I had a dresser to the left of my bed against the far wall with a neon palm tree light that I used as a night light on top of it. And between the dresser and the bed was just empty space. I was sleeping peacefully with Rex until I was woken up to this deep growling which I have never heard before. I opened my eyes to see that it was my cat, growling, pulling his lips over his teeth and slanting his eyes as menacingly as he possibly could, completely focused on the left wall. This was a very atypical reaction for my cat, so I kind of brushed it off and rolled over to my left without even thinking about it. And when I had, Rex jumped off the bed and ran out of my room as fast as he could. I only realized why he ran away when I rolled over. I saw what I can only explain to you as a shadow of a woman with curly hair sitting knee level at my bed, watching me sleep. It was a completely dark shadow, and I could only make out the face. It had curly hair because the neon light behind the shadow reached every surface but the shadow. Fear took me then, and I remember rolling over extremely casually and not knowing in my heart that if I screamed then, I would be taken by whatever it was that wanted to watch me sleep that night. I closed my eyes as tight as I could and withheld every flight or fight, mostly flight response, in order to stay alive. I survived, obviously, and it probably was just sleep paralysis. I have never experienced anything that ominous or sinister in my life since. Wow. I'm here for it. What's up, my friend? Generally speaking, it's too much adrenaline, so you wake up while your body's still asleep. I've had it too many times. That's interesting. You're talking about sleep paralysis? Is that what you're referring to? Generally speaking, it's too much. Oh, sorry. It's beautiful because here in Mexico, we don't celebrate dead. We celebrate the wonderful life that our dead people had, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, especially celebrating it. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I've never experienced like sleep paralysis. I've had nightmares before, but I can't say that I've experienced sleep paralysis. I'm gonna go grab a water and we will start our next story. Yeah, we'll do this one. The fridge is right there. I'll be right back. And we're back. I meant to leave that light on. Scary stories are getting to me. Alright. Next story. Was walking home from a friend's house at around 2 a.m. one night. I live in a pretty safe neighborhood. No one's up at 2 in the morning. And I've walked this late at night plenty of times before. Excuse me. I go to cut through an elementary school, which I've done numerous times. But this time was different. There's an alley on the side of the school, and then there's a playground and basketball courts further down with small woods area in the back. There's no lights by the playground or the courts. Anything past the courts was pitch black dark with zero visibility. But I was walking along a well-lit building, making me perfectly visible. The only way to get through the school grounds was to walk further towards the courts and exit to the street. So I was walking, and I hear a whistle as if someone was trying to catch my attention. I hear it come back from the darkness, and it didn't stop. I had the tightest grip on my switchblade in my pocket, ready to take it out at any moment. It kept whistling, and I knew it was towards me. The only way out was to keep walking towards the exit, and at this point, I was hugging the wall of the school, staying as far from the pitch black darkness as possible. The closer I got, the louder the whistles got, and then it started to say some other things in an eerie, high-pitched voice. I kept on walking, ready to fight or run away at any moment. I made it off the school grounds, but as I walked down the street, I still heard it, coming from the school. Once I reached the end of the block, I started to run. I don't know why, because I knew I wasn't being followed. I just ran so I can get home. I don't know what the hell that was, but ever since I've been more careful at night. My harmless hometown didn't seem so innocent after that. No, that honestly sounds very scary. That sounds terrible. Coffee waffles, hello. Sleep paralysis is terrifying. Well, for me, well, listen, I don't know if you guys are still in the live stream, but if you've ever experienced sleep paralysis, please leave a comment or go in the chat because I'd love to hear it. But if you don't want to share it, that's completely fine, obviously. That story right there that I just read, that one was pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. I had a chronic pain condition, so the walking nightmares overlapped with that. I physically feel something get in the bed beside me, feel the mattress dip down. A hand went into me, all real pain too. Yo, that sounds like, that was, sorry man. Wow. That's terrifying. Like, not only is it's like the pain's already like, obviously that's like enough. And then you got this visual with it. Okay, one time my sister got sleep paralysis. Well, I'd love to hear your story. You can leave it in the chat on the live stream if you are comfortable sharing it. I would ask for permission first, but that's just me. Alright, so this person deleted their account, so this story must be good, right? If that makes sense. Okay, here's the next story. When I was around 6 or 7, my parents took me to visit my aunt and uncle and told me to play outside with my cousin for a while. Well, it wasn't very long and my cousin ran down the street and left me alone in the front yard. I just started exploring around, looking at the bird feeder and under rocks, kid stuff, you know? Well, eventually I made my way out by the road and looked into the pipe that went under their driveway. It was pretty big and I kept yelling into it, listening to the echo. Again, kid stuff. Well, I noticed that I was just small enough to crawl through the pipe. What are you doing? Well, then I got to the other side and stood up. All the houses looked different. I wasn't in front of my aunt and uncle's house anymore, and my parents' car was nowhere in sight. I got a little scared, so I crawled back through, and there was my parents' car, and everything was normal. So I decided to go back through, just like before. No aunt's house, no family car. So I decided to look around. Some kids came up, and we played Foursquare in front of one of the houses. But they never spoke a word, just played the game. Afterward, I crawled back to the pipe, and it was a few hours later. My parents were in front of my aunt and uncle's house talking to the cops, and they freaked out on me for running away. I got lectured from the cop. To this day, I still can't explain what happened, or how, or even why, but I know it scared the hell out of me. I mean, I understand that 100%. That would scare the crap out of me too. Sorry, one second. Alright. Wild. You're good at telling scary stories. Last one was creepy. Yeah, it was. That was a creepy one. She woke up freaking out about how she had sleep paralysis, obviously, and I was like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? So she described it all, and then I was afraid to go to sleep for like a month. Well, I'm very curious of what she told you. I grew up in a haunted Victorian house. I once chased my bro down the stairs and jumped out on him. But he wasn't there. He was still asleep upstairs. We hear howls go through the house randomly too. That's pretty scary. Alright, let's go on to our next story, shall we? Let me put this full screen. Hello to everybody in the live stream. Oh, look at that. We got to the bottom of the list. I'm going to open up a new thread. Let's see. Alright, let's go to this one. Let's check this one out. But I'm here for it 24/7. That's very scary. Alright, let's read these. We just got into a new thread. Check this out. Hello, my friend. We are reading real Reddit scary stories for the Halloween vibes. Sleep paralysis is horrible. I got it a few times, and God is very scary. You can't move, talk. You are just right there, and it's terrifying. Jesus, that sounds... Yeah, all the sleep paralysis stories I've read are very disturbing. I can't say I've ever experienced it. I really hope I don't, but now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I'm definitely going to. But let's get on to the next story, shall we? I lived in an apartment a few years ago, 4 units upstairs, 4 units downstairs. I lived upstairs, and the apartment below me was vacant. I kept hearing footsteps through the apartment, and I knew I shouldn't have. Nobody was downstairs. I asked someone to come over and listen just to see if I was crazy. Maybe I'm just hearing the other apartment since it's empty downstairs, and everything is echoing. Wrong. I kept hearing the footsteps. This went on for a solid hour. Finally, I called the landlord and the police. Apparently, someone had broken in through the windows downstairs and was walking back and forth through the apartment with a knife. No. While living with some friends, I got up late at night to get a drink of water from the kitchen. I didn't turn on any lights, having no trouble navigating in the dark. As I crossed through the living room, I heard some movement, type noise or something, and assumed it was one of my roommate's pet cat. Go to the kitchen, drink water, leave kitchen. On my way back through the living room, I hear movement, noises a lot louder than an old cat should make, and I glance around, there on the couch. Oh no. I don't know if I want to keep reading this. There on the couch in the very dark living room is a shape, roughly child-sized, with bright red eyes staring directly at me. I froze. The fear was so sudden and strong that is in fact giving me goosebumps now. I very slowly stepped backwards, not daring to even blink as I watched the red orbs watch me. After several agonizing long seconds, I reached the kitchen light switch, ready to defend myself when this goblin thing was sure to attack me. Click, it was my other roommate's Chinchilla. It had opened its cage and escaped from their room. It was sitting on top of a pile of laundry. That's ridiculous. It's on the second floor of the house. There's no patio, porch, overhang of any kind beneath my windows. A couple years ago, I was watching TV in bed around 2 a.m. and I hear a louder than usual animal sound. Not uncommon to hear squirrels running around on the roof from time to time. Didn't think much of it. It kept on happening and started to sound awfully close to the window and not on the roof. I ignored it for a pretty long time. After at least 40 to 45 minutes of being irritated by the noise, I banged on the wall in hopes of scaring them off until I can get to sleep. Just 2 quick bangs with my fists, which were answered with 2 bangs on the wall right next to the window from outside. Needless to say, I just about pooped and jumped out the bed. Now my living room has a bay window and is on the other end of the house, so I can look out that window from the side and see my bedroom window. I hustle downstairs and peek out. I see a guy standing in front of my house below my bedroom window. He's got a knife in his hand and he's petting the front of my house. Call the police and wait. He never leaves the front of the house even when they roll up, ultimately disarm him and arrest him without much struggle. No. We don't like that. We don't like that stuff. At 20, my mom lived in Mill Valley in California. It being 1980, California, especially the Bay Area, was a hotbed for serial killers. They were all over the place. Zodiac, the Hillside Strangler, the Vampire of Sacramento, you name him. He was there. Anyway, one night, my mom, who was a beautiful little Swedish girl, is going pee in her bathroom and hears this rustling noise outside her window. She doesn't think anything of it at first, but then the bush directly under the window starts moving rapidly. She assumed it was a raccoon for a second, but then she saw the top of a man's hat peeking up her and charges outside screaming at him. She pulls up her pants, charges outside screaming at him. He ran off into the night. Next day, a girl was found strangled in her bathroom a few streets down. Could have been unrelated, but she still thinks about it from time to time. Any single woman should have a giant dog. That's my theory. Yeah, that's true. I'm here for it 24/7. Said, I told my dad the experience I had above, and he said when he was a child he was following his mother downstairs at night when he heard his real mother call him from her room, at which point oh man. And there's more. Oh no. The figure in front began to turn around and disappear. Yo, that is scary. That is a very creepy visual, for sure. I was about 19 years old, living with a roommate, going to college, while living in an apartment complex. Occasionally, I get mild bouts of insomnia, but nothing serious, usually just a delay in my bedtime of an extra 2 or 3 hours. One night, I suddenly just cannot sleep. Nothing will get me to relax, and I eventually give up and just sit in the front room, playing Heavy Rain all night, as it had just come out a few days ago. The next day, when I head off to work, exhausted with 0 hours of sleep, I got a text from my roommate. This was the text from his roommate. Dude, the police are all over the apartment complex. Apparently 9 apartments, including our downstairs neighbor, were broken into last night, with people home sleeping. Some people even reported things being stolen from the rooms they were sleeping in. It hit me that I had not stayed up all night and felt the light on in the front room. I would have been robbed or worse. Added, Edited. I did not go to college in an apartment complex. Oh, that's why they edited while living in bold. I get it now, because they have just two words bolded, and it's because stupid stuff. Dumb stuff, dumb stuff, dumb stuff. Looking for the next story. I was living in Fort Wayne, and for a short time, and the house I stayed in was on the outskirts of the main city, set way back on a dirt road in Farmville. The house is over 200 years old, and I would routinely freak myself out because of the age, location, and my only other roommates were two cats. Anyways, during one of the coldest nights in January, -15 degrees Fahrenheit, I heard someone frantically ringing my doorbell at 2:30 to 3 a.m. Slowly approaching the door to get a glimpse of my unexpected company before they realized I could see them. Dawn, what's up, Dawn? I'm glad you can make it. Slowly approaching the door to get a glimpse of my unexpected company before they realized I could see them. Suddenly, I hear them thump across the wooden wrap around deck leading up to the front door and make their way to the big glass side door. I heard a moan/groan. I heard someone jiggle the doorknob. By this time, I am calling the cops and cowering in my room with my pistol drawn. During the 25 minutes it took for the cops to make their way up there to investigate, I could hear and see the shadows of people outside each window, trying each one to see if it slid open. When the cops arrived, they walked around the house and only identified one set of footprints in the snow and one set of drag marks. Also, they could identify where and when the person being dragged was seated down in the snow at various entry points, while the other guy was checking for a way in. Moved shortly after, not because of the attempted entry, but because of Fort Wayne, Indiana is a terrible place to live. Alright, that story freaked me out, like I said. First of all, not only am I very tired, but I am downstairs and I got this, the ring light is the only light, but it's like on me, so it makes the background less easy to see. You can understand. And I'm down here in the dark reading these real scary stories. So, just telling you what I'm working with right now. But that one was pretty scary. I must admit that one was pretty scary. Alright, let's do another one. No, we're not gonna do that one. No. Okay. I have to skip these really fast because sometimes I already know what we're looking for. And okay, we'll read this one. I worked in a small building with 3 wings, and my office is located in a little back hallway of one of the wings. I shared the office with another girl, and it's usually pretty quiet. One evening, Jesus, I am alone downstairs. At least there's people upstairs. The next 2 weeks, I was staying up really late. Wait. Okay. I share the office with another girl, and it's usually pretty quiet. One evening, she and I were the only ones in our wing still there, and we both heard a door loudly shut in the hallway. We were both a bit confused, and upon peeking out, I noticed nothing out of the ordinary. That's pretty creepy though, if you think about it. The next 2 weeks, I was staying really late to catch up on hours so I could have a winter break. Then I began noticing little noises in the hallway when I was positive nobody was in the building. It sounded like a shoe sliding on the floor. This happened a couple of times. Earlier in the evenings, it would just be me and the janitor, and she started getting really spooked. She said she heard doors slamming in one of the wings, even though everybody had left. We investigated one night to find out that all of the doors were properly locked, but I noticed that the kitchen light was on. Even though the door was locked, the janitor freaked out because she knew she'd turned the light off before locking the door. I also recalled the lights being on a couple of nights when I was the only one there. I started to ask around if other people in the building had experienced anything weird like that, and one lady said some of her room decorations would have moved when she came back from the bathroom. And here's the one that really creeps me out. Another lady said that one day she noticed a footprint in the middle of her desk. It's that black material that shows skin prints pretty easily. To be honest, I'd rather it be paranormal stuff because the idea that there's a person doing all this really creeps me out. I'm here for it 24/7 said there's an urban legend of a black dog causing car accidents where I lived, but my family saw a black car driving at them once. They couldn't have missed, but I appeared to go through them and the car. What? Alright, I'm going to do one more story. One more story. Okay. So I had this whistle that was pretty bad. It was super obnoxious, with this terrible but very distinctive sound. It was like the death cry of a goose, followed by a rattling noise. It always hung off a bright orange lanyard, which I'd hook on the door handle of my front door. Every morning, I'd get up and see the awful whistle hanging from my door. Now, right next to my front door was a window that didn't quite latch. It was open all the time. But if you pushed on it for long enough, it would give way. Hello, Elsa. Hello, Elsa. Hope you're having a good night. Thank you for joining us. But if you pushed on it for long enough, it would give way. One night, it was raining hard as hell. I woke up at 4 a.m. to the sound of banging downstairs. I assumed the wind had blown the window open, and I didn't want the carpet to get soaked. So I got up and went to close it up again. Sure enough, the window was wide open. As I went to close it, I heard something out the window. In the distance, I heard the whistle. It was gone. The lanyard and the whistle were off the handle, and someone was blowing the whistle somewhere out in the storm. I checked the house, top to bottom. Nothing else was stolen, just the whistle. I fixed the windows. Alright, that is pretty scary. That is pretty scary. Pretty scary, pretty scary. I know I said that was the last one, but I want to do one more. I need to go to sleep. Sorry, bear with me, everybody. Alright. This will be the last one. We've been live for over an hour now. Thank you to everybody who's been here, but we got one more story. This one's pretty long. It was pretty awesome to be here listening to you. I have to go take care of my friends. See you guys until next time. Crispy, have a nice night. You too, Jesus. Thank you very much for being here. Posted a couple times before, but definitely the freakiest stuff I've ever experienced. This happened my senior year of college, Christmas break, 2006. I worked for a professor that asked me to house/dog sit for him while he was out of town to see the bowl game that we were in. He was gone for 3 days and had a huge piece of land in the middle of nowhere. I invited my girlfriend at the time. He had horses and fishing and a gator to ride around on. So the first 2 nights went down with no incident, but the last night, his little foofy dog is having a fit. She keeps barking at the back door. At first we blow it off, but decide to lock the dog inside in case of a coyote or something. After a while, we start to get a little creeped out. I kept saying it's probably an animal, so we'll be fine. My girlfriend wants to go investigate to see what's outside, so I lock the door behind her. Just kidding. She goes outside and says she saw something small and gray, and it ran off. So, just an animal, no worries. But by this time, we were pretty spooked. The dog now starts barking at the window on the other side of the house. We are still trying to ignore it, but a little worried. We decided to get into bed. Awkward silence, then I hear it. It sounds like a young girl singing a soft, eerie lullaby. I get the hell out of there. I say, why? Oh no, my girlfriend. Wait. I don't say anything, hoping that my mind is playing tricks on me. My girlfriend says, let's get the hell out of here. I say, why? She says, you didn't hear the little girl singing? Okay, let's get the hell out of here, and we got the hell out of there. I even called someone to talk to me while we walked out to my car. Next morning, we went to clean the house and such. Most scared I've ever been. That's pretty scary. I'm here for it 24/7. Said coyotes make horrible noises when they fight. As someone who's not used to that and not American. Yeah, I've never. I think when I was in Tennessee, like 2 months ago, or it might have been a month ago. I believe that I heard coyotes howling. It's pretty scary, but I am trying to do a video where I read all my subscribers' scary stories. So check out my community tab for the email address to send it to, or if you have me on Instagram, you can send it to me on Instagram because I want to read your guys' stories in these videos. I'm here for it 24/7. Gave some really good ones tonight, which I appreciate that. But yeah, and I say this every time I do scary stories, but I started my channel doing scary stories. It's like, why even have an ASMR channel at all? It was just to whisper scary stories because I thought it made it more creepy, and they're even relaxing at the same time because eventually you just get lost in the voice of the whisper and just end up knocking out. But thank you to everybody who came in the stream, who left a thumbs up, whoever subscribed that wasn't subscribed before. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will be making more scary story videos as well. Dawn, I love your old scary story vids. I know, Dawn, you've been with me for a while. Game Devs AFSMR. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. That's very nice for you to say. But yeah, I will be back. I will be reading scary stories again. I don't know if it'll be live, but I like going live with you guys and talking with everybody and just hanging out. It's always a good time. I want to know how I can stream my I want to be able to stream my face and the screen at the same time. Why is my... Yeah, I'm about to... Thanks for the live stream. Good night. Good night, Dawn. Elsa, will you save this live stream? Yes, I'm going to keep this live stream available for everybody. Last thing I want to say is, again, thank you all for the support. Thank everybody for joining. I appreciate all of you, even the people that didn't post in the chat. It's completely fine. Check out the members only. It's all on YouTube, and YouTube is actually giving 50% off the first month, so it's actually really cheap right now too. It's already low priced, but YouTube's giving out a discount for members, so just check out the links in the community tab and the About Me section. But thank you guys. I'm here for it to try and stream without the other guy in the background next time. Are you talking about the scarecrow, or are you trying to scare me? Talking about there's somebody else here. Don't do that. I'm gonna have to go watch like a comedy before I get off here. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm sorry I haven't posted anything in 2 weeks. Don't think that I don't notice that. My channel means a lot to me. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So it's all good. Alright, my friends. I'm going to log off. Have a good night.